Hi, it's Jean Brittingham with Kept in Stitches. Welcome, welcome. How is everyone this evening? I hope that you are great. It is Tuesday, so it is time for Tip Demo Tuesday. So come on in, join me, and see what I have for you today. Today is actually going to be more of a tip than a demo. And you may think, a lot of you, that this is a rather obvious tip for some, but I always am reminded myself and know through teaching in the past and everything that everyone out there is at a different level of their journey in creating, quilting, stitching, whatever it may be. So there are beginners, there are intermediates, there are advanced, and even the advanced can sometimes learn something through a tip that seems obvious, that maybe they just never ever thought of doing it that way before, or have never seen it done that way before. So just want to remind everyone that some of this may seem a little simple, but there are those that are beginning and have never done anything before, and there's always something for everyone to learn and see different. So what I have for you this evening is I am going to be showing you a little bit about what I do and some of the tips for when you are first starting a new project. How to set up that project, what you need, how to go about grabbing everything that you need for it together and keeping it in one place and having access to everything all at once instead of starting here, running over there. Oh, now I don't have this that I need. Having everything handy and in one place, ready to go when you're ready to start that project, so that the process seems to flow and be a lot easier from beginning to end. So the first thing that I do, of course, is you have to have your pattern. And the one that I am using this evening is because I did talk in my week in review that I'm going to be using this book, Tabletop Turnabout, in a sew along in my Facebook group. So of course I need to get a project ready in this, and I have chosen to do this first one because it's rather appropriate for this time of year. So I'm going to be working on that one first. So the first thing that I do to get ready for a project is I will actually make a copy of the pattern so that I can make check marks, write little notes and everything along the way, and not be writing that on my pattern book, in my pattern book. Instead, I have it to be able to write and jot down anything that I need on a copy instead. So we will have that, and we will go, and the first thing, of course, that we need to do is look on what supplies and what is needed. So I know that this is an applique project and that she uses the freezer paper method in it. So I make sure that I have my freezer paper out and ready, sitting there. I will be jotting down on little sticky notes as I get my fabrics ready, so that I know, okay, what did I pull this one for? Where does this one go? And that type of thing. Anything that you need to jot a note down on, have those handy. I'm going to need my paper cutting scissors, and I'm also going to need my fabric cutting scissors for this project. So I have those both handy and ready to go. I'm going to need my light box. So I have my light box already over here, ready to take out and use. I have the marker that I will use for transferring the patterns that I'm using on that light box onto the freezer paper. Then I also know that I am going to need to mark for the applique on the fabric, and whether it is a dark or light fabric, I have both of my marking pens ready. The one that I would use on a lighter fabric, that is the gray lead, and the white that would be used on a darker fabric. So I have everything that I'm going to need already laid out and ready to go, so I'm not having to run around my sewing room looking and trying to find what it is that I need at the last minute when I'm trying to get my project ready and prepared. I also will have the patterns that need to be traced for the applique and everything on there, out, ready, folded, ready to go on the light box and using the freezer paper with. And then, of course, you need your fabrics. So you have those all pulled and ready to go. Now you say you have everything ready for your project, ready to start using the instructions, cutting your fabrics and everything, and that is where the sticky notes will come in, because as I cut the fabrics, I'm going to label each one for what it is for in the instructions and which part of the instructions it is for. So that's what all of those are for. But once we have all of that, the thing that I do is I make sure that I have an empty project box ready. So now I have all of these supplies gathered that I know for this. I don't want them laying all around on top of something, because I may have gathered this up, but I'm not quite ready to cut those fabrics yet. I may not be ready to trace the patterns yet. So everything that I just pulled is going to be put into this project box, labeled so that I know what it is. I'm not going to put the original pattern book in that box, because I may not get back to it when I think I do, and then I'll be looking and going, where did I put that book that has the rest of those patterns in it? And it'll be in with a project instead of on the shelf where it belongs. So the copy of the pattern will go in with the project and the supplies instead. And that is basically how I get things ready for it. But I know that I'm going to be working on this one either later this evening or tomorrow. So all of this, I will pull out the freezer paper that I need. It will be folded up. It will all be placed into this project box, left right here on my cutting table, so that everything is ready to go. And that is my tip for how to pull your supplies and get ready for a project that you're getting ready to start. I hope maybe this has given you some ideas on what you should do when you're getting your projects ready, instead of not having a plan set in place for how you're going to have everything ready and available for when you do want to start that project. So thank you for watching as always. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that you'll get notifications when I do come on with new tips and demos, that type of thing, when I have my weekend review and when I go live, you will get those notifications. Also, if you are interested in my Facebook group, Friends of Captain Stitches Quilting Stitching Bee, that link will always be in the description box below. Anything else that I have used specifically that I feel that I need to share with you will also be in the description box for anything that I showed. So always check that out. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great week. And remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye.